you so much for being here. My name is Dr. Tanzina Ahmed of the Behavioral Sciences Department. I'm excited to present our research on questioning food insecurity at Kingsborough, where we are and where we should be. And we have 5 amazing student researchers who have worked on this project: Hoyan Wong, Destiny Rivera, Talha Naveed, Amadella Clark, and Sanaya Williams. They will be presenting their work. And I, along with Glenda Ulauri and Dr. Rosita Ilieva, have been their faculty and staff mentors. So without further ado, I'm going to ask our first researcher, Amadella, to join us. Thank you.
Hello everyone, again welcome. My name is Amadella. My pronouns are she, her, and it's very nice to see everyone today. So, how many people have heard of the term food insecurity? Okay, so a few of our researchers and staff and a couple students. So actually, even though food insecurity, the term, is not commonly used, thousands of Kingsborough students are actually affected every single day by food insecurity. And let me tell you what this means. So, it is not having regular access to enough healthy, culturally appropriate, and affordable food options, again, on a regular basis. So people that experience food insecurity may not live around sources of healthy food, or they may not even have the time or energy to prepare healthy foods. So when people are food insecure, they're actually more likely to have health problems such as high blood pressure, obesity, and even diabetes. So it is incredibly common in the United States, surprisingly to some, and Food Bank New York City estimates that over 41 million Americans and 1 million New Yorkers regularly experience food insecurity. So, food insecurity is especially common among people who are likely to experience economic struggles. So that's lower income, often ethnic minorities, and of course, students right here in community college. So, let me introduce food insecurity among community college students. So, when we look at food insecurity among community college students, we actually find some staggeringly shocking numbers. Because of their relatively high rates in family poverty among community college students, many of them experience food insecurity. So one recent study found that 52% of CUNY community college students reported being food insecure on a regular basis. That's tens of thousands of college students in settings just like Kingsborough. Okay, so let's continue on with academic outcomes. So food insecurity among college students matters, okay? And this is actually a fact that it affects their health as well as their ability to perform in school academically. So several studies have actually linked food insecurity to a lower GPA. And also weight gain, issues with diets such as a higher sugar intake or even salt content. So if you're a college student who can't afford affordable meals on a regular basis, you're actually more likely to struggle in school and in overall health, which is important for living every day and achieving academic success. So actually, let's talk a little bit about Kingsborough. Kingsborough actually is one of the trailblazers in food insecurity and promoting food security among students. So we are actually the first CUNY, City University of New York, to open a food pantry. Ours is called Food for Thought. So it actually currently operates in T4, room 268, and it provides students with resources, information to government programs, as well as food. 5 days a week, all semester long, each semester. So we also are the only CUNY to run a large-scale urban farm which provides over 3,000 pounds of organic fresh veggies on vegetable distribution day. How many have heard of the urban farm? Cool. Visited? Awesome. Okay, so we'll talk about more information on that and other programs a little later. And we actually also, the urban farm actually operates Bring It Home, which is an educational program. It's all about cooking and healthy food options and nutritional workshops. So more information are actually in the brochures right there on your table. So take a look and take a read. And actually, we're going to go into discussing the methods. So although Kingsborough is doing an amazing job with the already existing food programs on campus, there's so much that we actually didn't know about students' food experiences right here on campus. So we actually conducted an original research study with 4 main questions. So here are the questions right here. So first, how many Kingsborough students are food insecure on a regular basis? 2, how many students food insecurity, how do food insecurity relate to GPA and life experiences? 3, how many students know about and use any of the campus food programs? And 4, why do students use or not use campus food programs? So we actually created a survey in the summer that actually sought out to just ask questions on students' food experiences as a whole and their experiences on Kingsborough. So without further ado, I'll present or introduce my next person. I won't say that.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Ho Yan, he, him pronouns, and participant. We collected survey data from 23 classroom and 7 vegetable distribution days, over 600 surveys. And in this presentation, we will present results from our first 307 student participants. Their average age was about 25 years old. Almost 68% of participants identify as female, about 30% identify as male, and about 1.3% identify as transgender and self-described. Since the majority of our participants were in their first semester, almost 50% reported low GPA, and the remaining 50% reported an average GPA of around 3.1. We also had a very ethnically diverse sample of participants, with about 28% stating they were Caucasian and 30% stating they were African American. 17.6 stating they were Latinx, Hispanic, and 11 stating they were Asian and Pacific Islander. Finally, many of our participants live under or around the poverty line. Almost 49% of reported household income under $30,000 a year. So many participants reported economic struggles in their lives. Okay, food insecurity of Kingsborough students. Due to that, it was no surprise to see how common and widespread food insecurity is among our student population. In fact, 8% of students report severe food insecurity to the point where they were struggling on an almost daily basis. Another 8% of students reported moderate food insecurity, which is struggling on a weekly basis. Another 8% students reported mild food insecurity. They are struggling on a monthly basis. Finally, 8% of students report no food insecurity, so they have no struggle with food. Overall, there is a large part of Kingsborough student community that has problem getting healthy, affordable, appropriate food on a regular basis, and that food insecurity was connected to many other areas of their lives. Okay. To see how food insecurity was related to other areas of student life, we conduct a series of correlations. Based on this analysis, we found that when students report higher level of food insecurity, they were also more likely to report having a low household income and receiving more monthly aid from government programs such as federal SNAP food benefit program. They are experiencing worse health overall and taking more evening and weekend classes. So student experiences with food insecurity was related to their life outside of Kingsborough, as well their health and their classes schedules. And there is a connection between student food insecurity and academic experiences. As students report higher level of security, they also report lower GPA. Having more difficulty concentration in class and on exams. They are being more likely to miss in class on a regular basis and more likely to fail or withdraw from class. So food insecurity may make it more difficult for Kingsborough students to achieve their academic dreams and remain enrolled in our college. As students report more food insecurity, they become more likely to report that they need support from Kingsborough food programs, which is food pantry, urban farm, and the Bring It Home program. So food insecure students do see the value of our campus food programs. Okay, food insecurity, embarrassment. Unfortunately, it turned out that when students report higher food insecurity, they also become more likely to state that they are embarrassed about using campus food programs. So the struggling student who most need food program may feel shame about using these programs, which make them more likely to avoid this program. Worth nothing though is that food insecure students report that most embarrassment about using the food pantry and the least embarrassment about using the urban farm. So the urban farm program and vegetable distribution days may be helping people who would otherwise to be too embarrassed to go to the campus food pantry.
Thank you.
We're at 13 minutes.
Dustin?
Hello everyone, my name is Destiny Rivera. I am one of the student researchers. This is regarding our results that we received during our data. We also looked at the data on how many students went to visit the campus food programs. We found that the majority of students, including many food insecure students, did not visit any of the campus food programs. That's speaking for the food pantry, urban farm, and also the Bring It Home program. If you look at the blue bars, you see that 74.3% of students never visit the food pantry, 65.4% of students never visit the urban farm, and 68.9% of students never visit the Bring It Home program. However, a significant group of students do visit and use the campus food programs. And many who do so also share their food supplies with their family and friends. For instance, 34.6% of students visit the urban farm, and 27.2% report sharing supplies from the farm with family and friends. So So these food programs are an important source of support, of support to many students and to students, families, and friends group as well. Where are these students learning about these programs? And when we asked students where they learned about Kingsborough food programs, 49% reported that they had never even heard about these programs before. So there are a significant minority of Kingsborough students who may be food insecure but have no idea that there is support available on campus. 24.2% of students stated that they learned about the program from class, either from their professor or even from our team coming into the classrooms. So in class, contact seems to be the best way to help food insecure students find resources on campus. Another 6.1% of students stated that they learn about these programs from other students, showing the importance of peer support. So these are already students who are attending these programs or being participants of these programs and informing other students that are not aware. Another 6.1% of students stated that they learn about these programs from other students showing the, And they finally, the remaining 17.6 of the students reported learning about these programs from a mixed variety of other resources, including advisors, emails, flyers, student orientation, and so on. None of those single sources rose above 3%. The results, we ended our survey by asking students for suggestions about how Kingsborough could continue supporting food insecure students in the future. We received an amazing variety of ideas, and I'd like to raise your hand. I'd like you to raise your hand if you agree with any of these ideas so we can see how popular they are. 1. Honestly, I wasn't aware that there was a program. I usually always get the same thing to eat.
Program?
Problem.
Problem.
I'm so sorry. Honestly, I wasn't aware that there was a problem. I usually always get the same thing to eat. I do. A bagel with cream cheese. Cheapest thing. 2. Why do we have to pay taxes when we buy food in the campus? Sometimes we got money to buy food, but the tax blocks us. 3. I just wish that they had chicken salad or more options because I spend too much money on unhealthy food. I do the same thing. 4. The campus should advertise these programs more because the only thing I heard about is the urban farm, which we visited in English 24. 5. Do the vegetable distribution more than once a day and more than once a week and have later times. No money, guys. Okay. We ended our survey by, I'm sorry.
This is my part.
Oh, so I'm not gonna read this part, right?
You already read the suggestions. So.
Oh, so these are the suggestions. Okay. And I will bring it on to the next participant, Taha.
So my name is Talha, and I go by he, him pronunciation. Well, I'd like to thank you, Jake, Amazella, and Destiny for presenting the food programs at Kingsborough Community College. And now I'm going to talk about the future directions by sharing some of our thoughts about what the future of food may look like at Kingsborough. First, our research, I can look at the screen as I talk, is that? So first, our research reveals the importance of addressing food insecurity at Kingsborough. Many of our research participants struggled with getting healthy, affordable meals on a daily, monthly, and weekly basis. The struggle was connected to their household income, non-traditional college schedules, to their health or their ability to achieve an academic goal. We believe that by helping food insecure students, we'll be fulfilling the promise that Kingsborough makes to each of its students' success. I'll just add that part of mine. We will lift one very important but overlooked barrier to success: Second, we do have a policy recommendation. By that I mean our research reveals that the food programs at campus all support hundreds of students every year. It's important to keep funding these programs because they support not just students but their families. However, we also need to expose more students to these programs. We need more professors to spread the word about the food program on campus in their classrooms. Maybe we should make this a mandatory part of the syllabus that professors review at the start of each semester. We also need to reduce the stigma and embarrassment that students feel when it comes to getting help from campus food programs. It's important for students to realize the food insecurity is common among all CUNY students and they won't be judged or harmed for using campus resources. Additionally, we need to think about how to help Kingsborough students who have non-traditional schedules, meaning weekends or late nights, and who arrive on campus after food programs and cafeteria are closed. And finally, we'd like to emphasize that there's a variety of things you can also do to help as a student at Kingsborough Community College. For instance, help spread the word about food insecurities to students you know. Feel free to take extra brochures after our presentation and give it to people who may be interested in this topic. Also join our food justice organization to advocate for food insecure students. You can also visit many food programs on campus to get support and to volunteer. Thank you for being part of this presentation. Truly appreciate your time. For the rest of this panel, we're going to start by playing food insecurity games and help you better understand this topic.
Okay, thank you guys so much. You guys did